Alrighty, guys, another day's in the books for stocks. Let's break down everything that happened today on the charts and go over 5 stocks I'm eyeing up right now. 2 of them have actually been dogs in my portfolio, and they're actually starting to turn around. So I want to break down my plan with those stocks and a couple other stocks I'm watching. So guys, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, join my Patreon if you want to keep up with my actual portfolio updates, my trades, investments, and if you want to be a part of my private Discord, all that's linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stocks.surfest.com/Patreon. And now let's dive into it. And by the way, guys, I have the Spain-Portugal game pulled up right here at the top left of my computer. So I'm literally watching this game, making this video, obviously focusing more on the video. But if I freak out of nowhere, it's because, well, somebody scored a goal. There's 25 or actually 15 minutes left in regular time, and we'll see what happens after that. It's currently 0-0. So let's dive into the video, guys. Break down again where my head's at, the overall market, a couple stocks I'm eyeing up, and 2 of these have been dogs in my portfolio, and one of them I actually just bought today for a trade, and I'm down on that trade right now. So as of now, guys, the S&P, well, I guess the market's closed, but we are trickling up a little bit in the aftermarket. But as of today's close, we went up around 0.9% on the S&P. The Qs led the green up around, let's see here, guys, 1.4%. The Dow did okay, about 0.25%, 0.3% up, as the Russell went up about 0.5%. So a green day across the board. The VIX went down 1.5%. Bitcoin, which is a risk on barometer, right? This went up around 4% today. Bitcoin's fighting, man. Let me tell you, in the high 50s, low mid 60s, the bulls are putting up a fight, but I don't know how much fight they have. I mean, look, we're still in a downtrend on Bitcoin, really no sign of a reversal. So every time we've seen some strength from the bulls, it's really just been a little relief rally within the downtrend, and then it gets a lot worse, right? And looking at the Qs right now, we can see we're still trading in this channel, like we mentioned in the previous video today. But hey, it's not too far off from fully breaking out like the S&P is. It's starting to. SPY's a bit ahead of the Qs on the charts here. We can see SPY is starting to push through these moving averages, the highs from the last 2 weeks roughly, and we're actually taking out this channel. So very good sign overall for SPY here, and I think the Qs ultimately will follow. But again, they're a little behind on the charts here, but I don't think it's going to be for long. And if we look at the Dow's charts and the Russell, look, guys, the Dow, even though it lagged today, it hit all-time highs, 53,000 points, unbelievable. And the Russell hit about 3,040 actually earlier in the month, and that's an all-time high. So every index is going absolutely ballistic. And with that being said, guys, I think, the Qs are about to break out following SPY's footsteps. With that being said, let me share with you all a couple stocks, couple charts I'm eyeing up, and an update on some of my positions. So do you guys remember Toast? One of my lagging positions, one of my laggards, right? TOST is the ticker, and look, it's by no means fully breaking out, but for the first time in, months at this point, we're actually starting to break through from the last couple of weeks' highs, right? We're actually above these moving averages, and we're noticing a golden cross on the stock. And this cup and handle that we talked about, I know a lot of you guys make fun of me, oh, Stas and his cup and handles. Well, this is why we outline them and call them out. This cup and handle's playing out. And again, we're now starting to take out the highs from the last couple of weeks, which hasn't happened really for Toast. Each time we make a lower low, it pops up a little bit, but it really fails to start taking out the highs from the last couple of weeks. But now we're seeing kind of a resurgence in the stock. And again, by no means is it fully breaking out, but we're noticing these signs. We're trading it, above this trend line. And for me at this point, guys, look, I am still down on my position. My average cost is about $33 per share. And what I'm looking to do here is I'm looking to sell covered calls, right? And when I sell covered calls, I'm only selling them above my average cost, and over the last couple of weeks, I haven't really been able to sell covered calls on Toast because, well, it got down to the low mid 20s, and for me to sell calls above my strike or above my average cost, the premiums weren't worth it. But now they're starting to get a lot better, and the risk reward with these calls look a lot better. I can get, I think I have the options chain screenshot right here. I don't think you guys can see it. Well, I know you guys can't see it, but I'm actually eyeing up calls that expire on August 21st, so about 45 days out. I'm looking to sell the $37 calls or the $36 calls on Toast. And let's say I sold rather the $36 calls. I'm getting about $60 in premium per 100 shares that I sell calls on. Not too bad, not too bad. Again, with my average cost being $33. So ideally, you want to sell calls above your average cost. So if you get assigned, you get your shares called away, you make money on your actual shares, and again, you keep the premium. And for me, guys, I eye up a delta between 15 to 25 when I'm selling calls. And a little trick here with the delta, guys, let's say you see it and it's 0.17, 0.2. In other words, what that means is that's about a 20% chance, roughly. Let's say the delta is 0.2, 0.2, right? That's a 20% chance that the calls you're selling expire in the money. In other words, it's a 20% or it's an 80% chance you keep the shares. So for me, when I'm looking at delta, when I'm looking at options to sell, I'm always looking at delta and making sure, okay, is the premium I'm getting worth the risk of me giving up my shares? And let's say the delta is a 50, right? And I'm getting a lot of premium up front. That's awesome, but there's a 50% chance I get, my shares called away. So usually, guys, I'm eyeing up a 15 to 25 delta. And now with Toast trading at about $30 a share, premiums have come up. The strike prices in the mid-high 30s. The deltas are about 15 to 20, and we're getting a decent premium on those calls. And I'm excited about that. I'm looking to sell those calls. So that's a quick update on Toast. I know a lot of you guys probably don't own this stock, but I mean, it's a stock I own. And again, it's been a laggard in my portfolio, but I don't think for long, because when in doubt, zoom out. Toast actually looks decent, and when you look at the fundamentals, charts aside, the charts look decent. Like I said, fundamentals are even better, right? This is more of a longer term hold for me. I never got into this as a trade. It was always a long-term play, and I'm excited to see it finally starting to move again. And, the fundamentals are strong. Toast is dominating in the restaurant industry. They're really focusing only on the restaurant industry, right? That's one of their key moats. They're honestly the premier, provider for restaurants when it comes to software, payments, AI, you name it. Toast is right there at the front, and I'm excited about it. So that's a quick update there. Mercado Libre has been another laggard of mine, guys, and this one's finally starting to break through 1800. We had a 2.4% green day today, and it's not breaking out. It's actually in more of a downtrend than Toast is, but now it's actually right at my average cost. Finally, it's like finally, right? Right at my average cost. I started buying this stock in the beginning of this year. I think I actually put my first buy in at the end of December in 2025, and I've just kept buying. I bought more recently about a month and a half ago after the company tanked after earnings. I bought a good amount at $15.50. I brought that average cost down, and again, now we're pretty much at my average cost at about $1,800, and this is also, just like Toast, a long-term investment. I love the fundamentals. We're not going to dive too deep into that in this video, but they're dominating in Latin America when it comes to e-commerce, when it comes to, payments, when it comes to fintech, when it comes to kind of being the eBay, Amazon of Latin America. Mercado Libre is at the forefront. And there's a crazy stat. I know I mention this all the time when I talk about Mercado Libre. They've grown, I think, 30% or more revenue-wise for 30 straight quarters. If you sit and think about that, that is just an unbelievable stat. The company is dominating, and yeah, they are investing a lot right now into, future systems. Their free cash flow is taking a hit. Their gross margins have taken a hit, which is a reason why the stock's falling, but it's short-term pain for long-term gain. I think these investments are going to pay off, and I'm excited about Mercado Libre. Forget about 2026 with this stock. This is a 2030 play, 28, 29, 2030. I think Mercado Libre is going to be well over a $2,500 stock, maybe towards $3,000. When in doubt, zoom out. Look at how good this chart looks, man. It looks phenomenal. Patience is key with Mercado Libre. And listen, man, one thing that investors, especially novice investors, traders, have to realize is sometimes stocks have a down year, a down 12 to 18 months even. And people are so spoiled nowadays with the crazy returns. You buy a stock, the stock goes up 50% in a month. This is not how the market works, man. Or maybe, sure, a select few stocks go crazy, but a lot of the time, you got to be patient with your long-term investments. Sometimes stocks have a down year, a down 18 months, and then they go on a 2 to 3 year stretch that makes up completely for the down year, down 18 months, and some. You know what I mean? So Mercado Libre, hypothetically, yeah, it's had a down year. It's been a rough 8 to 12 months. But what if it just went on a tear? Not saying for sure it will. Nothing's guaranteed. Do your own research. But what if it went on a run to 2,500, 3,000 over the next 2-3 years? It's totally possible. People have to realize not every time you buy a stock, it's going to go up 2x in a month. This market has spoiled a lot of the novice investors. And I'm telling you, man, if you find a good company, a good stock that's in a downtrend, and it's a long-term investment for you, yeah, if it's a trade, I'm like, okay, don't fight the trend. But if it's a long-term investment and it's in a downtrend, it might not be a bad idea to trickle in slowly if you have a long-term, holding period, and, it's a good company with a good moat. Don't just get discouraged because, it's in a downtrend. I got to chase all these AI stocks that are going up 10x in a month. Sometimes the slow, boring DCA approach will yield better results long-term. And it's not a sign to avoid a stock if it's in a downtrend, especially when in doubt, you zoom out. And it looks great still, and the fundamentals are still very strong. So Mercado Libre, I'm holding on tight, man. This is a story, again, not for 26, but for 27, 28, and beyond. And I'm excited about it. Rivian is another one that I'm not in, but if you guys look here, and by the way, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're on the road to 100K subs on YouTube, and crazy enough, on Facebook, we have 91,000 followers. I appreciate all of you for tuning in on Facebook, on YouTube. Hit that subscribe, hit that follow button. Rivian, I'm not in, but I did call this out at $18. And honestly, man, I think this one's got a lot more to go. It is a bit overbought. I know, but I think momentum is clearly building up here, and we can see it's taken out the multi-month resistance at about $18, $18.50, which we've hit that time and time again and gotten rejected back in, February, once here, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Now we're finally starting to break out. Oh, somebody got a yellow card. Or is that a red card? Wait a second. I'm actually impressed with myself, guys. I can keep an eye on this game while also making videos. Well, I guess, look, I've made literally, not to toot my own horn, but I've made probably 5,000 to 10,000 videos I'm not even exaggerating. If you guys go on my YouTube, you'll see I have like 5,000 uploads. I've been making videos for 8 years. So I guess, I guess I'm decent at it at this point, but I thought I'd be more distracted. But we're at 88 minutes now. Yeah, this thing's going extra time for sure. But anyway, man, Rivian is looking phenomenal. Yeah, it's a bit overbought. It needs a pullback, but I think that pullback will be bought up. And I think low mid 20s easily is where the stock's going, maybe higher. So that's a quick breakdown there. ServiceNow is another one that I love the setup right now, guys. We can see if I zoom in, ServiceNow, and by the way, they have earnings coming up later this month in July. But if we zoom in, we can see clearly what's going on. We have a multi-week resistance at about 108, 110. We obviously broke through it once back in the end of May, early June. But other than that, we got hit at 108, 110 a couple of times, and now we're starting to potentially break through. We have a clear ascending triangle here. We're above the moving averages. We have an inverse head and shoulders. And if this really takes out 110 to 12, guys, it started to earlier. Now we, saw a pullback into close down to 107. But if we start taking out, I'm telling you, 111, 110, 112, this is going to run, in my opinion, into this range right here. Now, does it go? Oh, I think Spain just scored a goal. Holy smokes. They did. Oh, my God. Yup, that's tough, man. Ronaldo. Oh, Portugal. Oh, they're in trouble, man. There's 5 minutes left in extra time. Well, it's the regular period, but extra time on the clock. Got +6. Oh, man, Spain. Holy smokes. I missed the goal, but I saw the celebration. But ServiceNow, I'm telling you, man, it's going to trade in this range right here. I like the way it is setting up. But nothing's guaranteed. Do your own research. And hold on, the goal's playing now. Man, what a freaking goal. Hold on. Wait a second. The next stock, by the way, guys, is Corning. Oh, is he offsides? No, he's not offsides. Yup. Oh, Portugal's in trouble. Yeah, there goes Ronaldo's, I guess, World Cup career. I doubt he's in the next World Cup. Maybe he is. I don't know. But GLW is another one here, guys. Corning, which I bought a little bit of today. I nibbled a little bit. Starter position, which this is mostly a swing trade, man. Couple weeks swing trade is the target on this, and I just think it's a little oversold. Uptrend looks good, stock looks good. I think we're I think we're in store for a nice continuation play on Corning. And again, ticker GLW. They also have earnings coming up this month. If you guys haven't noticed yet, a lot of the earnings are coming back in the back half of July. I'm excited about that. And I think Corning is setting up pretty nicely. I think it could chop around for a couple days. We might get an even better entry here, honestly. But I nibbled some shares today, and I'm looking to add more on the weakness. And by the way, guys, we talked about Rivian. Tesla today, man. Tesla is whipsawing like crazy. One day it's 380, then it's mid 400s, then it goes back to 390. Now we're back to 420, 420. I think we got some news regarding Miami. I think they're launching, or they did launch something in Miami. What was it? Robotaxi. What was I reading before? Where the heck is it here, guys? Yeah, Tesla stock rises as the slow taxi rollout heads to Miami, according to Barron's there. So yeah, man, honestly, Tesla, the bottom might be in the short term. It's tried going under the high 300s a couple times over the last 2 months. Buyers keep coming in, keep forcing it back over 400, 410, 420. And I think eventually, man, this thing's going to rip towards 500. It's coming, and that's why I'm still holding a bunch of my Tesla shares. So what do you guys think? I'm going to wrap it up here about 20 minutes in. Going to watch the rest of this Portugal game. There's 2 minutes left. It's over. It's done. They're not going to score. Never say never, though. But yeah, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe and check out my Patreon if you want to keep up with my actual portfolio updates, trades, investments, and if you want to be a part of my private Discord, it's all linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to Stasser dfs.com/Patreon. I'll see you guys in there. Peace out.